Hey, beautiful people! I just want to quickly share with y'all some experience from today that I had. It was very interesting. So you've all heard of mental revision, right? Neville Goddard talks about the pruning shears of revision, right? Basically revising what we call memory or what we call the past and rewriting it in our minds with words, feelings, and images of our own choice, right? And yesterday I was today, actually, today. But I have a story from yesterday too, so I'm gonna share, I think, both of them. So today I was talking with one coworker, and the way she was talking to me was touching some emotion, some unpleasant emotion in me. And what she was saying, I sensed that it was affecting me in such a way that I'm a vulnerable kid that is being evaluated by somebody who has authority. And even though me as a kid, I understand that she's not correct or doesn't understand where I come from, I was feeling that I'm gonna be punished because I'm not following what is expected of me to follow, right? And I started noticing this pattern just playing out in my mind and respectively as a feeling in my body and respectively in the conversation. And I decided, wait, why won't I do a revision, a live revision, right now as she's speaking to me? I'm just gonna be revising what she's saying. And so I did. And it was one of the most interesting, a very, very interesting experience that I had because the conversation just shifted and I was just revising it in myself while she was talking. She was saying this and that is not possible, this and this is not good enough, blah, blah, blah. And I was just revising it to the perfect ideal scenario that both of us are in harmony and we're contributing to each other's visions of love, basically. Love for everything and everybody, right? Everything just being in perfect ease. And I started doing this and the conversation just shifted. Suddenly I felt calmer. The conversation started going into another direction. Everything was like very peaceful. I felt like I'm actually confident, that I am a person that is confident in what they're doing and is also valuable. And our conversation started reflecting this exact thing. Yeah, yeah, it was powerful experience, and I was just observing all of that, giving myself suggestions that what is happening is actually happening in a way that I want it to happen. And it just started happening like this. And another experience that I want to share is about yesterday. I was having a session with a client of mine, and she was talking about the fact that she's working as a doctor, right? And she's given, I believe, anesthesiologist or something like this, right? Giving anesthesia. And I told her, you know what? I think my dad used to do this, right? And later on during the day, I had this story in my mind. I was just thinking about what I told her. And because I know from other people's stories that when I was little and my dad was doing this, he was actually bribing. Not bribing, but asking for bribes, basically asking for money at the hospital where he used to work at, that people would pay him to do this. Otherwise, he might not do it and the surgery might not start. I know. This doesn't sound good at all. But do you know what? I started thinking about this and I caught myself thinking about, oh, my dad is not a good person. He was doing all those horrible things and blah, blah, blah. And I thought to myself, why won't I revise how my father is or how my father was, right? Even though memory, present, past, it's all now. And I started giving it a completely different meaning. I started seeing him as a beautiful, loving, and caring man that is doing his job out of compassion, understanding for others, and the need to help. And guess what? My feelings in my body started shifting. I started seeing him as the perfect man that I know that deep inside he is, that all of us are. Just imagine how powerful we are. We can see people, we can see circumstances, we can see events, we can see the world regardless of what is happening. And I do not mean ignore. quite the opposite. See it for how you perceive it now, and then change it in your mind, in your heart. Because this makes all the difference. Once we change people, events, circumstances in our hearts and minds, then everything reflects in the external. Because anyways, the external is you pushed out anyways. Everything is happening because it's happening first inside. First, those thoughts arise inside. And I'm going to share more about this. I'm going to talk more on this topic in future videos. But yeah, the conversation is already there in us, and then we see the result. It's never the opposite. Never the opposite. Might not be exactly the same thing, but the conversation has been already there. Might not have had an image to it, but it must have had words to it. It must have had expectations. We might have learned them from our family, without absolutely any awareness of that. We might have learned them, and then the conversation, the expectations, the feelings might have already started residing in our bodies. And there we go. At some point, we just manifest something we didn't even know. We didn't even understand. So yeah, why not change it? Why not make it perfect? Why not make it ideal? Perfectly heal people in our own minds and hearts. Right? Because in this way we heal them. We heal ourselves because we're all one anyways. Love y'all. See you soon. Ciao.